Hello everyone, welcome back to It's Time to Leave. It's time to leave.
Man, I feel a bit bad because I kind of wasted my obligatory off-color joke before we recorded.
He did. You can't get a raw reaction now.
Yeah,
Now
it's
it'd just
not
be
gonna
forced.
Now it's not. Yeah, just like that labor.
God damn it.
Wait, oh, that wasn't a setup. Jesus. I thought you were.
I didn't think you were actually gonna do it! Daisa Tsunamoto for protect my powers.
It's not my fault, you know. I mean, you know, what can you do? They're saying the cotton's fine. The cotton is fine. Nothing happened in Tiananmen Square. I mean, look, the only thing I'm really going to say about the whole thing is every time something like this happens, and China's response to that is to just be, "Oh, you know what? Just fuck everything." Like, it's just like the more guilty it makes them look about this stuff. It's like every time someone to mention something about human rights abuses or, you know, any number of horrible, evil things, then their response is to be horrible and evil about it, and then you're like, you kind of just proven the point, guys.
You know, you might enjoy this one. This one's a little old. I don't think we mentioned it last time recording because I think it might have happened during, like around that time. But hey, remember when Joe Biden called Putin a murderer, and Putin's like, "It takes one to know one." Also, why don't you fly to Russia and talk to me?
I mean, you know what? Fair play to Biden. It's better to fall up the stairs than it is to fall down the stairs. So maybe when Air Force One installs a stair lift.
It's great that our last two presidents are falling all over the place.
God, he's not gonna make it. He's not gonna make it to the next to the midterms, is he?
I don't know.
I feel like we need like a presidential Deadpool for this guy, for Biden specifically.
Oh.
Not because I think he'll be assassinated. I just think like the strong breeze will do it.
Oof.
He's very old, and also maybe half crazed and half crazed. I'm not sure.
Don't worry, he's not sure.
Yeah, he's not. He's not sure either. Why would I be?
It was making me, I don't know when I said that, it just made me think of, I was making a joke the other day about, like specifically with, like, RJ with the Star Wars thing, where I was just referencing it into, do you remember Muscular Beaver from Angry Beavers?
No, but go on.
I do.
There's a bit where they show his comic, and he's like, "Who are you, Masked Wonder Beaver? My identity is so secret.
It's so secret, even I don't know who I am." Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. So it made me think of that was like RJ with his quote-unquote plan. A plan so secret, even I don't know what it is.
Well, maybe
Wow.
maybe if they could like ever get their story straight, because some people say, no, JJ had a plan, and then Ryan Johnson threw it out, and then other people say, well, no, but there was no plan, there was nothing, it was just mystery box, he just did whatever, so he did whatever, and then other people say, man, why isn't Star Wars dead? Like, why do we keep giving Star Wars money when all they do is squander it?
You wanna know what I think it was? I think the answer of it being no plan is correct.
I mean,
Their plan was let's just make Star Wars movies. They'll make a lot of money. Yeah, let's just do this.
I forget if I've said this in recording on this, but I always think of J.J. Abrams as basically, you know that meme of "you made this."
I made this.
Yeah, he's literally that.
Yeah.
Even his successes are still very much you made this, I made this kind of deal.
Right.
Like, I'm thinking like his Star Trek is at the end of the day, no matter how much people might like or dislike those movies, I like two of them. I like one and a half. I like the one he had very little involvement with, and I like half of the first one.
That's honestly fair. Also, good news for you, Guy. Oh well, Domon, Van, and Guy are all ace now.
But nice. But like, yeah. So his Star Trek movies are basically just very Star Wars. Like,
Yeah.
Star Wars
I remember a couple people comment on how like those ones felt more like Star Wars movies and Star Trek films.
Also, the second one is literally a fucking trashy remake of Star Trek 2.
Yeah, I know.
Because fuck you.
Except,
And also Super 8,
except
which
terrible.
yeah, and then also he did Super 8, which is basically E.T. but evil, and then he did Cloverfield, which is basically Godzilla but shit.
Hey, listen, he didn't need to make Godzilla, but shit, we already had that in the 90s.
Yeah, somehow I think Cloverfield's worse.
Oh, actually, I agree with you.
Not because I think Cloverfield is a actually worse, like, movie on a technical level. I just think it's like probably Cloverfield has like way too much like actually missed potential. Whereas like the more I think about it, the more like 98 was basically doomed from the get go because it had complete hacks behind it. Whereas like J.J. Abrams and the guy who actually directed Cloverfield, Matt something. I don't remember his name because, you know, why would I?
Cloverfield.
But well, I know he's done other stuff since and has gone on to have something of a name for himself. But you know, I don't. But only God. But you know, only God has the power to forgive, and I choose not to exercise said power.
At least he doesn't have a god complex.
I have a train complex. Basically the same thing.
But I mean, also I'm gonna be honest. There isn't a single one of those found footage movies that I think are any fucking good. Yes, I'm including Blair Witch.
I mean,
I was making fun of Blair Witch when I was a kid.
I think Blair Witch is fine for what it is, but
Yeah, I'm pretty sure people have been making fun of Blair Witch since the day Blair Witch came out.
Yeah, I know, but
possibly before that.
I mean, yeah, but that's because SNL exists, and SNL makes fun of anything, usually poorly, though.
I'm trying to think of other. There's a couple like found footage stuff that's actually decent, but like it's not a genre I especially care for. Largely because the great issue with it is not that it is an inherently lazy design choice, but so many filmmakers use it as an inherently lazy design choice.
So, just off topic for a second. So, I decided to just immediately upgrade the Gunbuster to the customized. I don't have a bias towards it or anything. What are you talking about?
I guess actually that's the point I was.
Oh god, I've been ignoring the flame ray Earth. Jeez.
Flame Ray Up's kind of the worst one, sort of. It has the least stuff it can. It feels like it has the least stuff until they give Hikaru love. Because if you want to make a unit good, you give it love.
Yes.
She gets honestly the one that I felt like was the weakest of them where I am in the game at least is the blue one.
Yeah, but
green is really good.
The main difference with the blue one is it's a lot faster and travels through air.
I still gotta upgrade the Shin Getter. Oh well, that'll happen eventually.
But so yeah, so I kind of went off on a rant across several people about why Hollywood should never be allowed to make mechs.
I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with you, but you go off.
Well, it's basically just, and I blame 100% of it on like fucking Bayformers for a start, because I've said this before, like
I will say one thing real quick before you go. The only exception to this is the first Pacific Rim movie. Yeah,
but that has, I mean, I'm not saying it's like that. Oh, this should never ever be designed, but like, fuck me, someone needs to take some of these artists and these concept people and say, all right, look, if you make this look like a junkyard on legs, I'm gonna cut your hand off. It's the only way they will learn, I'm sure of it.
I don't think so, because it's also infected stuff here. I mean, look at the fucking Mazinger and Great Mazinger in this fucking game.
I mean,
it looks like it came from a junkyard now.
I mean, at least you can tell it's Mazinger. You look at fucking Bayformers Prime and you tell me without already knowing that's meant to be Optimus Prime.
The head is the only indicator, to be honest, and also the red chest.
Yeah, but even the head, doesn't count because guess what? His fucking stupid, ugly mouth they gave.
Oh yeah, where they have him like take off the visor and give him the really ugly robot lips.
Yeah, he only has the visor when he's punching stuff.
Why even have the visor if you're just gonna retract it every time you talk? So,
I'm assuming they thought the whole visor moving up and down without him actually having a mouth was lame.
Probably. I'm sure they justify it as how you're gonna get people to care about something if it doesn't have luscious lips. And I'm like, now remember all those children who were traumatized when they fucking massacred murdered Optimus Prime like in '86.
Yeah, there's kids that were so fucking destroyed when they saw Optimus die.
It was just outright when he was just murdered.
Just in cold blood, murdered mercilessly,
Thanks, Hot Rod.
without an ounce of mercy.
I mean, he did. I mean, he did better than Ironhide did.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Or Prowl, who died without ever even actually getting a line in.
Fucking Prowl's like death face is horrifying.
You know what? To be fair, though, he was a prick.
Yeah.
He might have
Hey,
deserved it.
Hey, at least they learned their lesson when they made G.I. Joe.
Duke's okay!
Hey, everyone, Duke's okay.
He's in a coma.
He's in a coma, even though he gets like stabbed through the heart, and you see blood come out.
It's a coma.
And he falls to the ground, and he weakly reaches for the sky, and then there's a shot of his hand falling to the ground. But no, he's fine.
It's a coma. Calm down. Jeez.
It's just a coma.
It's a coma.
Just a coma.
Just a little coma there, Stan. It's fine.
But even before that, they actually, like, made use of the series characters instead of just like, oh, okay, 15 minutes into the movie, forget about them. Look at these new guys. They do have a new lead voiced by a celebrity, but I mean,
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna just say one character's name, Lady J, starring Lady J.
Yeah, she didn't do much.
Remember how that was on the box, and the only thing Lady J did was get grabbed by a strangle plant and disappear for the entire movie.
Why was that on the box, starring Lady J?
Yeah.
I think the other girl did more than she did. She at least had lines and stuff.
Was Scarlet even in the movie?
Yeah, she was there when Duke gets speared.
Yeah, and then she kind of like disappeared.
She's the one who says, "Oh, he's gone into a coma."
Oh yeah, you're right. And then she was basically just there for the rest of the movie, where she wasn't.
She was. I think she was punched a few people in the background. That's about it.
Yeah, Lady J didn't even get that, and it's still put starring Lady J on the box. Yeah. The only way that could have been funnier is they also put starring Cover Girl.
I mean, she was also in the movie, but I don't think she had a single line.
Wait, Cover Girl was in the movie? I was just making a joke because I thought she wasn't.
She was, but she was. I think literally every single G.I. Joe character was in that movie somewhere, even if it was just them running around in the background.
Oh, okay.
Which is admittedly more than the Transformers got, where like a lot of characters from season 2 just never appear again.
Yeah.
Hey, you like
not even in the background.
Hey, you like Wheeljack? Well, here's his fucking corpse.
Yeah, but at least Wheeljack was dead. Compare that to like Trax, who just like never showed up again after season 2. Not even as a dead body or running around in the background. Just he's gone. He went to go live with Raoul, I guess.
There are worse fates.
I suppose.
Like, being in season 3 for a start. But yeah, I was thinking on it because I did the thing where I looked at like the 2017 Power Rangers Megazord, right?
I don't even remember what that thing looks like.
Well, I'll tell you this: it looks worse than what you remember.
I don't remember anything, so I guess I don't know.
I think the only thing that vaguely kind of sort
just
of
put it in the chat real quick. I'll look at it.
Is that it has horns? That's about it.
Just throw in the. Oh my god, that's like a reject from Pacific Rim 2.
So if I didn't tell you what that was,
I would think it was a reject from Pacific Rim 2 or a Bayformer bot.
The only thing that barely resembles it is that it has horns on its head. That's about it.
I like that
maybe
it looks like it has 6 arms.
Actually, if we weren't talking about mechs, I would think maybe it was a Warframe thing.
So, which I find it especially odd because I was thinking on like the first Daijujin slash the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers original Megazord, and it's like apart from the feet, that thing does not look like a combiner.
It really does not.
like as I said, apart from it having Voltron kind of style legs, it's like you can't tell that it was a mastodon, a Tyrannosaurus.
I mean,
and
you can see where all the parts goes.
But it's still like at least it feels odd to me that we that's like that we go from that to
that
what looks like a car crash.
Yeah, no. Honestly, the honestly, God, the original Megazord, Dino Megazord, is really cool design. I legitimately think it's really cool.
And it's like,
I mean, it doesn't look like a combiner because it was built as a suit for a guy to wear.
Yeah.
As opposed to like a toy or an animation thing to go together. That's why it looks so.
I get that, but it's
that's why it looks so well proportioned. And
I mean, it's not even like a matter of proportions. It's like, apart from, as I said, the fucking legs that are clearly like the Triceratops and the saber-toothed tigers sat on. You couldn't really be like from just looking at the Megazord.
I mean, on the back you can see it has the mastodon legs.
Also, on the back too, you can see the tail.
Yeah, on the back, but like I was still talking about from the front.
Yeah.
Like you look at the front of the 2017 one, and what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's the Heroes robot. It looks like something that, like, you know what it actually kind of looks like if you were to throw that in like a different mecha thing. It looks like a generic robot that they'd have to shoot.
It looks like a fucking aborted Evangelion.
Goo.
It does though.
You're not wrong. Also, Haman's here. Say hi to her.
Hi, Haman. Bye, Haman.
No, not yet. I haven't thrown the gunbuster in her face yet.
I mean, at least it doesn't look like that.
By the way, I said this last week with Train, but Sabo, I still think it's fucking hilarious that right after you get the gunbuster, the game is like, all right, now fight Haman. I have the gunbuster. This is silly. The gunbuster is so ridiculously big, it could literally pick Haman's suit up with 2 fingers.
But that pressure, though.
But fin funnels.
Kono pressure.
Let's see what your fin funnels do against homing laser.
Alright, the Snyder Cut finally came out.
Oh, yeah.
You mentioned you wanted to talk about it. I haven't seen it, and I'm not going to see it, because why would I spend 4 hours watching something that, from as best as I can tell, isn't actually different from isn't actually that substantially different from the original? It's just fucking longer.
There's more stuff with the ending bits, but...
Yeah,
so it's literally...
That ain't happening.
It's literally, so it's literally a, so it's basically what you expect from a Snyder film. Like, literally all the trappings you expect. Like the action scenes are pretty decent, the writing is shit, the character writing is shit. A lot of really dumb Jesus imagery, because I get it, Zack Snyder, you read Lord of the Flies, you can fuck off now.
What I find funny is there's a quote, it's not specifically associated with Zack Snyder, but like there's a quote attributed to a director that I forget where they said, I know directors who use subtext and they're all cowards, and it's like, that kind of feels like Zack Snyder. At a certain point there's no subtext, it's just text.
So, but the main thing I wanted to talk about wasn't even really the movie itself, because it's literally what you'd expect. It's what When you say movie, it's like it feels a bit unfair. It feels a bit weird to call that a movie when it's like 4 hours long and thinks it's some kind of Shakespearean thing because it divides itself into chapters. Like, if we're talking pretentious. Oh yeah, Zack Snyder's pretentious as fuck. But I'm not here to talk about the pretentious self-wanking of Zack Snyder's latest disaster piece. What I mainly wanted to talk about was actually audience reactions to it, because it's been overall pretty positive, and I think I know why.
Because so many people went so hard on it that if at the end of the day it came out and it wasn't what they want, and if it wasn't good and it wasn't what they wanted, they couldn't walk it back and go, oh, that wasn't worth the wait.
No, it's not that.
And the death threats, and the brain damage.
It's not that. I think I know why people liked it so much. It's because...
Is it because Joker was there and he did...
Can I finish?
Yeah.
Because nothing you're gonna say is gonna be correct. This actually has to do with us talking about, like, the fight things. all the Marvel movies are so samey. We think that just because it's different is why people like it. Different for them, quote quote. Not for us. We've seen this bullshit. We know what this bullshit is. But audiences have the attention span of a flea, so.
Well, I think it's because we live in a society, Dan.
Oh, I apparently he doesn't say that in the movie.
No, he doesn't. Which makes the fact that it's in that trailer even more like the. I want to die. you know, the Professor Farnsworth. I don't want to live on this planet anymore. When after the orangutan proclaims that evolution didn't happen, it feels like that. Like I am actually facing down something as monstrously stupid as that. I'm just being like, yes, fuck humanity is what I'm basically saying. We don't deserve what we got. We don't deserve this. Life is a precious gift, Dan. Life is something beautiful and wonderful, and we don't deserve it. Zack Snyder is my supervillain origin story.
But yeah, that was pretty much it, because it was kind of reminding me of like when we were talking about how like the Marvel fight scenes are just not great at all. They're just not good fight scenes.
Well, I mean, let's be fair. Like most fight scenes in Marvel, kind of devolve into big swirly vortex of doom, and then the hero's like, "I need to stop this, but I can't, but I must," and then they do, and then it's fine. See 4-1 and 4-2 and fuck, what's it called? The end of Guardians. End of Guardians as well.
Most of the fights involving Captain America are pretty good, if only because he can't fire blast his way out of it.
Most of the fights, barring Captain America ones, are like one-sided, like jobber fests, where it's just like in fact, most of the time the villains just get jobbed by the hero repeatedly. Like the main villain just keeps getting jobbed, like absolutely wrecked, like destroyed, humiliated every time, and I'm supposed to take them as a credible threat. Hey, remember when Loki just like shows up and immediately gets fucking slammed around by Hulk?
I mean, Loki was never a threat.
No, but they're trying to pretend he is.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, like even in Thor 1, like once Thor actually gets his power back and is able to fight him, like he pretty much crushes him.
I mean, Loki has always been a pencil neck geek, but
what was it? We were in like because Trey and I were talking about like how like good the Spider-Man 2 fight is on the subway, and even honestly even the Green Goblin fight's good. It is very much a fucking Kamen Rider Sentai fight, but that's fine.
It is. Like, if
it's
you
fine.
Ever watch that fight Sabo, it's as tokusatsu as fuck.
It's fine. I love it.
No, it's not fine. It's great.
But like the Spider-Man ones in MCU are all shite. Like all of them, they're all just crap. There was one good one, but they cut it from the movie.
I find actually really kind of.
There was a bank heist fight scene that was actually pretty good, where he's like jumping around doing Spider-Man bullshit. And then they just cut that from the movie. Cause that was a little too good. We can't have that. That's a little too spicy for MCU.
Can't have Spider-Man doing spider things.
They probably figured, oh, he did enough of that in the other movies.
I mean, he did stop a bank robbery in Spider-Man 2.
That's really Spider-Man and MCU's biggest problem is that they're trying so hard not to do anything that was in the other movies, either because they know they'll never be able to top them, or they just don't want to be accused of ripping them off, because it's just like, why does his cast look nothing like the usual Spider-Man cast? Well, because they already did those in the other movies. You're not going to find a better Mary Jane than Kristen Dunst.
I mean, that itself is fine. What I think is really the biggest missed opportunity, and this is why I sort of hold that trade fight scene in such high regard, because while there's definitely fights that look better, like the effects have aged better, like what makes that trade fight work is that it's one of the even among not even just like Spider-Man, but in superhero stuff in general, is one of like the few sort of fight scenes I can think of that properly utilizes a character's unique capabilities.
Yeah.
Because like if you ever rewatch it, like you can consider that it goes from the side of a building to on top of a train to the side of a train to inside a train to Spider-Man now has to fucking chase down a train and also catch people that Ock is throwing off the train. It's like it's utilizing a whole lot of different elements and ideas into the fight, and it, you know, uses the fact he's got amazing spider powers and he's fast and agile, and so it's the kind of, as I said, it's kind of insane to me that like nigh on 20 years, like getting close to 20 years after that movie, and we was like, yeah, we've not really kind of done anything like that with other characters. You do have like unique set pieces.
Oh,
like,
damn it, I forgot to put Fa into this fight. Oh well, that's just one less Hamon point for me.
Oh well.
Well, actually, no, it's
yeah.
2 less Hamon points. That sucks.
I'm sure you'll make it up.
Yeah, I just won't make that mistake again. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I can't think of a whole lot of other like stuff that properly utilizes a character's capabilities in that way. I mean, I guess the closest you could say is like X. Oh, actually, another one, X-Men 2 with Nightcrawler's like attempt to assassinate the president.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty.
Even though I don't really like the X-Men movies overall.
But that sequence is really
I mean,
good.
the first two were pretty good.
Nah, I don't like those.
But they're written by David Hayter.
I don't like those.
Well, I like the first two, and then the third one happens, and you're like, well, they can't do Dark Phoenix worse. Oh. Here's the thing, right? Dark Phoenix doesn't work as a story in these kind of movies because Dark Phoenix as a story in the comic books is kind of nonsensical anyway, because you go from like the X-Men who are fighting sort of day-to-day stuff, like the odd giant robot apocalypse and all things like that. That's still kind of regular Earth shit. But Dark Phoenix becomes a fucking Star Wars style space opera as a storyline. Like, suddenly the X-Men are in space and there's alien politics and war and shit like that. And then also, like, you know, solar system destroying ancient cosmic entities. It's like, it goes from, like, fucking 0 to 100 in, like, no time at all. So it's kind of the... Yeah, how do you actually do that without it just properly in a film when you only have like limited amount of time to do these to set up these kind of things? Especially because, as I said, it's like kind of nonsense even back in the comics when they do it. Like, you go from fighting Sabretooth, who is just an angry man, to fucking space opera bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's so weird, and that's why I'm like, yeah, I don't think there's ever a way to actually do, like, unless you're gonna do like fucking 4 movies setting it up properly.
Yeah, you pretty much have to do like an entire comic book storyline worth of movies over the course of like a decade.
Yeah,
like, it might work in a TV series, but I don't think it'd work in a film.
Bearing in mind, you also need to have enough of a reason to give a shit as to, you know, being sad when we have to kill Jean Grey.
Which, to be fair, I never really felt sad about Jean Grey, because Jean Grey never had a character outside dying.
Whereas I'm like, man, remember, I always like, when I rewatched the sort of 90s Spider-Man show years ago, and there's a whole subplot about like someone using telekinetic powers to help Spider-Man in the X-Men crossover. You're like, oh, Jean Grey, and it's like, no, it's just some random. So it's even in fucking the shows, other people just shut up Jean Grey.
Honestly, I remember as a kid, like, Jean Grey was always that character that was just there.
She exists so Logan and Cyclops can simp over her.
Pretty much.
And now that like Scott is with Emma, she doesn't even have that going for her anymore.
And sometimes Professor X can simp over her and create Onslaught.
No,
we don't talk about Onslaught.
Hey, he was in a video. Hey, he was in one of the Marvel's Capcom games.
When's the MCU gonna tackle Onslaught?
We don't talk about Onslaught, not for the Professor's sake.
Nah, he deserves it. He deserves to be made fun of.
I mean,
The professor who now has to be both British and American at the same time.
that's because he was born in New York, but he goes to study in England. It's fine.
Yeah, but
Makes
that's
perfect
only
sense.
because they cast Patrick Stewart as him, and they're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, now we got to make him. But he can't be British because a plot point is that his family ancestral home that's been in New York for centuries is what he runs the X-Men out of.
And also, his half brother is the Juggernaut. Not that ever really comes up.
Yeah,
It comes up occasionally, sometimes.
Wait,
maybe.
actually, are they half brothers or adopted brothers?
pretty sure they're.
Half.
I know they're some kind of.
Half
brothers.
brother. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure
I'm
it's half.
going to look it up.
All right. Either way, Colossus now has the Juggernaut thing anyway, so
Oh,
Does he-
Juggernaut.
Is he still the Juggernaut?
yeah,
That happened like over 10 years ago.
yeah, he's still the Juggernaut.
Apparently, K Marco is Juggernaut again.
Oh, well, that sucks.
It's like did Sentry ever come back, or did they just realize he was a bad idea?
No, he's still dead.
I figured. You could tell immediately. They're like, this is this character that can literally do anything and never lose. Oh god, this was a terrible idea.
Why do we do this?
Why do we do this? Okay, let's make him crazy so he can't really affect anything. Okay, but now you have this nigh godlike character who's just sitting there. All right, let's kill him and never bring him up ever again.
Alright, so he and Charles are stepbrothers.
It's almost as bad as like when Vision was killed and then they just kind of left him in a warehouse for 10 years.
Yeah.
And then they just fixed him.
Oh yeah, Vision's here. Hold on, let me get my wrench.
Oh, no, it was literally it's just like I think we might need Vision. All right, let's go fix him. And then they just went and then
are you trying to tell me that Vision is literally Skyfire?
could be.
Well, shit, we need a. Oh no, our friend Skyfire has died horribly. Oh well, there's nothing. We will honor him, and then like 4 episodes later, man, we really need to get to South America. How could we do that? Hey, couldn't that Skyfire guy turn into a jet and fly us there?
Yeah,
Let's go dig him out of the ice.
it's basically that, but if Skyfire was just shut down and they just brought him back to the base and then left him in a closet for a couple episodes, and then decided, oh wait, we need a ride. Let's turn Skyfire back on, because Lyra's just like, we could really use Vision. Okay, let's go fix him. And then he's literally just like in a back room in one of their Avengers facilities, and then like with a couple tweaks, he's back and he's like, why did you not fix me for several years?
Well, you know, there's
Well,
weird stuff.
Yeah, you know. Well, we didn't really. Let's see. Listen, we really didn't want to get Ultron upset. He gets upset, and we didn't want to deal with Ultron again.
Also, your girlfriend's kind of insane.
What again?
We don't want that. And
Yeah, you see, she kind of went crazy when this guy named what was his name here, Joe Quesada, decided to write her.
you missed the whole no more mutants thing. No more what now?
Sada, why did you make so many bad choices in such a short time?
Man, considering I feel like the comic books do want to just kill themselves, why don't they just bring Joe Quesada back and just make the process go quicker? Just speed it up, why not?
I'm waiting till a '90s kid is like put in a position of CEO, and then they'll just like revert everything to how it was in the '90s, which might actually, be good.
Finally, tiny feet again on Cable.
Yeah.
I always like to remind people that Cable was never good until the X-Men cartoon got a hold of him.
He was awesome in that cartoon.
Yeah, he was. I thought he was the coolest thing, and then I read Comic Cable, and I was like, "Wow, he sucks."
I like his time delayed disintegration beam, where like he'd shoot something and it would glow for like 5 seconds and then it would explode.
God, I do have because literally a box of cereal came with a 30-day trial. I do want to sit down and watch the old X-Men cartoon.
Oh, Disney Plus, yeah.
Yeah, it literally came with a box of cereal.
Oh, is that on Disney Plus?
Yeah,
Yeah.
along with the '90s Spider-Man and the Muppets.
But not Spectacular Spider-Man.
Oddly, they do have Avengers: Earth Mightiest Heroes, which is the best Avengers cartoon that they canceled.
I'm pretty sure that might be because Spectacular might have been bankrolled by Sony specifically.
Could be.
Because, the whole weird limbo that Spider-Man and Spider-Man rights do exist in with Sony.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I can really think of, because Spectacular Spider-Man's on Netflix, or at least it's on my Netflix, or at least it was last time I checked.
I'll have to double check.
I don't know. I know Netflix is different from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned that Netflix had Sonic X, and I just was scratching my head as to why.
But what? But who wants to watch Sonic X?
It only has the first 2 seasons, though. It's just kind of funny.
I think those are the only ones that got dubbed.
No, season 3 got dubbed.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
They did do the final season, yeah.
You know, with Tails' plant girlfriend.
And I always, that's weird. I always find it weird that they bring back Chris Thorndike as an adult, but then he also,
Becomes
progresses to a child, because, I don't know.
Because it'd be weird to have a grown-ass man hanging around the... Oh, wait. They did that already. That's the movie.
Yeah. Well, I find more impressive.
Where Sonic is, best friends with a 40-year-old cop. And it somehow works.
Oh, come on. That's just the actor. The character's supposed to be, in his mid-20s.
I don't think so.
More importantly, James Marsden doesn't get cut by Sonic the Hedgehog, so I'm okay with this. It was a pretty legitimate concern.
Doesn't he have a stepdaughter as a teenager? I don't think he's supposed to be a 20-year-old guy.
He didn't have a stepdaughter of that.
No, he didn't.
He didn't even have it. I thought he and his girlfriend or his wife?
Wife.
His was his wife.
It was him, his wife, and their dog.
Yeah. And because he wanted to become a sheriff.
Wasn't there I thought there was a kid involved in
there. The only kid was, the only kid you're thinking of is his wife's sister's kid.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, the one who ties up her mother.
Yes.
Which gets a bit weird. And yeah, he wants to become a big-time cop in San Francisco, and then the moral of the movie is don't follow your dreams.
The moral of the movie is you're unlikely to become a big-time cop in San Francisco.
Instead,
when you've been a sheriff in the Boondocks for several years, that's unlikely. They're probably not going to want you.
I mean, besides, in the Boondocks, people are less likely to be fucking gunned down by the busload.
You know, I enjoy this guy.
There's no punchline to that because it's not funny. Reality isn't funny, guys.
No, but in the Boondocks, you have to get called out for gators and bears and stuff like that.
You know,
gators are cool.
You know, I appreciate the gusto of this Martian successor who decided to just run up on fucking Angela like he was gonna do something when he's only got a 4% chance of hitting and she's 100% and will shoot him down. I appreciate the gusto.
Well, RNG might work.
He wanted to fondle the bullsack. I mean, it's unfortunate because I know it's a reference to a French philosopher, I believe.
Yes.
But it's still
They have balls.
But it is still a funny name.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pretend it's not. I get it.
I mean, it's not quite as bad as Full Frontal, but very few things are as bad as Full Frontal.
No, I get it because we understand. So for I understand the reference, but I'm still gonna laugh like a child. It's the same thing with Monsoon when he talks about memes. I know what he's talking about, but at the same time, haha, funny meme pictures. Memes.
Memes, Jack. Memes.
Memes.
Your memes and ear.
Dank memes, son.
Such a lust for revenge. You know, it's funny. I would be mad about. I was even part of the whole go back to Hollywood next thing. So I was I was thinking, man, I really hope this Hollywood Gundam doesn't get made because A, they're not gonna get it, and B, the robot's gonna look like shit. And then I was thinking, and then someone was like, "What about this Hollywood? What about this Hollywood Metal Gear Solid movie they keep threatening?" And I was like, "Yeah, but here's the thing: I don't think there'll be any robots in that.
They'll just get rid of the Metal Gear, turn it into a giant supercomputer."
I could honestly see the live-action Gundam looking decent, if only because Sunrise is bankrolling it, and they're gonna want to make model kits over it.
Yeah, but
so I could see them being like, "No, you can't make it like some kind of stupid Bayformers abomination. It has to look like the usual Gundam."
The problem is they might go.
We know you can do it. You did it in Ready Player One.
I mean, that's okay looking, but man, their Kiryu design in Ready Player One is like actually fucking cancer. I hate it. It looks so bad, and I'm like, how did you? You already had the perfect design on Kiryu. How did you fuck it up? How? How? You would fuck it up a second time. Oh, made myself sad. I'm actually excited for to see Godzilla vs Kong next year. Oh no, next week because it's going to be on VOD. But that Mechagodzilla design still kind of makes me cry.
Yeah, it's not great.
Makes me sad in my happy place. Like, in my happy place is Godzilla movie, obviously.
At least the one spoiler that you know from it makes you happy.
What is a king to a god?
What is a god to a non-believer?
Which I like how I sent you that, and you're like, if only, and it's like, yeah, that is actually kind of the thing, from what I understand.
Well, I didn't expect it.
It's actually, I didn't, but
I expected them to do, you know, the usual shit.
I mean, I'll see when I see it next week, because I think it comes out April 1st, so...
Yeah. I know it's soon, because, like, you know what's weird? For some reason, like, because the Cult of Snyder is so fucking weird, they're like, guys, don't watch that movie, instead, just watch Justice League.
But, I mean, if you got watching Justice League, you have HBO Max, why don't you just watch both?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's not as if it's like the... I don't know. It's not like you have to go out of your way to see one and not the other. It's actually kind of the weird thing, because they're on streaming services and VODs and HBO and things like HBO Max instead of being directly in theaters. It actually does help benefit both movies, because now there's now you can see both, and you don't have to be like, well, I've only got the money to see like one. Now you can see both.
Yeah, and it's not like it's the Disney thing where Disney charges you more to see that movie for some fucking reason.
Because Disney got to pay off those propaganda bureaus somehow.
You know how much money we wasted on Mulan live action?
Do you know how many human rights violations we had to look the other way for that movie? A lot.
And what did we get for it? Nothing! The damn Chinese viewing audience didn't even watch it!
Yeah, well, maybe they should have made an off-color joke. You know, like Monster Hunter. Wait.
Oh, God!
I love that apparently, so the actual line is just... It's not even fun. It's not even like an off-color joke. It's just kind of stupid.
Yeah, I've heard the joke.
Yeah, but then apparently that's not even the joke in the thing, and that's what got him in trouble. Apparently, in the actual thing, it's like some kind of excerpt / reference to some racist song. So it's like it goes from being just some really bad, unfunny pun to being actually offensive, which is why it got cut. Although then again, you know, China says a lot of things that aren't necessarily true, like how nothing happened at Tiananmen Square.
What? Nothing did happen at Tiananmen Square.
And that there is no country called Taiwan.
There is no country called Taiwan.
But yeah, so...
You say that too much and Hollow Live will suspend you. Actually, to be fair, they apparently did that because they were receiving tons of death threats from Chinese viewers. So they literally wanted to take them off the air for a bit so people would stop sending them death threats.
Man.
So, like, we've joked about it, but when I learned, I'm like, you know what? That actually makes total sense.
Man. It's always shitty when you give death threats to people for stupid reasons. At least if you're gonna like threaten people with death, make it be like, you know, they've done something actually, you know, worthwhile, like being like, you know, pedophilia or murder or, you know, ruining Spider-Man.
Listen,
You know,
listen. I'm sorry, we still can't go after Dan Slott. I'm sorry.
He did ruin Spider-Man. He just kind of, you know what it is? It's like by the time Dan Slott got his hands on Spider-Man, it's already like a shit show. All he did was add a bit of seasoning to the shit show. Like at the end of the day, At the end of the day, Superior Spider-Man is nothing, because all it is it's just another example in a long string of stupid bullshit. It's not even like One More Day, though. Like, One More Day is especially notable because it, like, is the fucking... It's the end-all, be-all. It's the point where the readership of Spider-Man is irrevocably damaged. Like, it never got back after that.
Oh yeah, I've actually been talking about that lately, because, what was it? It's been a bit of a conversation topic about how, like, in the West, manga has kind of overtaken comic books.
Yeah, it's because manga's not absolute. It's because manga's, you know, more often than not, like, yeah, there's executive meddling as we saw with things like Dragon Ball, but you know, at the end of the day, it's usually like the artist / author's vision, and it's there, and it's just like, you know, a story that's done and done well or not done well is whatever. But versus, like, say, comic books where you have like multiple different artists come in and different writers, and they all have different ideas, and because of the nature of that, instead of like. So like Jump, right? If a manga doesn't do well, they axe it and they bring in and they let someone else have a go.
The other thing too is with comic books lately is they've been loving to try and basically get the hate buys by having characters do things that are completely stupid or just completely dumb changes because they're hoping to get hate buys, but all that ever does is you get a couple of extra people buying that one book for that one month, and that's it, and then you get more people dropping off, so it's not always unsustainable, it's actively damaging.
Yeah. As I said, you can trace a lot of it back to One More Day.
Yeah.
Because One More Day is effectively the point of... It is basically...
Honestly,
like
the whole that whole era, like the One More Day, Civil War, House of M, all that stuff.
I'm just talking specifically Spider-Man. Like,
Well, specifically Spider-Man, yeah, I'm just talking about comic books in general here.
I mean, if you want to be even more technical, you can trace a lot of it back to Clone Saga. Which, I mean...
yeah?
Well, I mean, Clone Saga is a bit of a different thing, because it was artificially inflated. I mean, it's a bad story anyway, but it was pushed beyond the breaking point because, you know, Marvel was kind of bankrupt at the time. And they were desperate to keep Spider-Man, like, selling well. So, what should have been just you know, a bit of a bit of a dumb story, then has to be lengthened out into the nonsense that it became. But yeah, so it's like, it's just chasing contrast, and it's like, at the end of the day, as much as I might not care for Dan Slott's particular writing, what he did is just a drop in the bucket. Like, it's basically nothing. Like, that's his contribution to Spider-Man in terms of being part of the problem of ruining the character over the years. It's like, who gives a fuck? Like, nobody even talks about Superior Spider-Man anymore, apart from us, making fun of it.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. It's just a bad memory now.
It's like Nazi Captain America. No one talks about that.
Even the game it was featured in is defunct. So.
Wait, there was a game with Superior Spider-Man in it?
Yeah, in Marvel Heroes, like, Spider-Man had a whole alternate palette swap of Superior Spider-Man where he had a whole different voice set. Where he's now, like, he's rude because she's like, oh no, he'll bow before me and stuff like that, because, you know, it's...
I don't remember this game.
Well, it's gone now. It existed for like 5 years. It was like a Diablo Marvel game.
Oh, it was that game that they brought out to compete with DC Universe online, but they didn't do it right because they're like, let's not have you make a new character. Let's just make you play these ones, but it's still an MMO. It's like, why?
Pretty much.
No one wants to play that in an MMO.
Apparently, there were a lot of people who complained that they couldn't play as the actual DC characters in DC Universe online.
I mean, you can in the versus skirmish thing.
Yeah, I know. But when it first came out, you could only play as like Batman and them.
Well, you could play as like Batman, Superman, Power Girl. There was actually a number you could.
Yeah, I know they beefed it up. The game.
No, even in the start, because I played it at launch.
No, I don't know.
I played it at launch. I can talk about it at launch.
I have an account, and like.
I haven't played it in ages, but.
And I got a free upgrade to like the max level, which I logged in just to put use of, and then I stopped, and I haven't played it since. I should probably play that one of these days. I could probably knock out their storyline like effortlessly because I'm like level 30. At level, I'm supposed to be level 1. But
Oh well.
anyway, Marvel Heroes kind of just they released a bunch of versions for like all the consoles that didn't sell, and then like I think somebody in the company got accused of something or embezzling something, so they basically just pulled the entire company and the game just kind of died like shortly after I think Civil War came out, because every time they release an MCU movie, there'd be a big tie-in where the characters would get costumes from the movies, and there'd be a big event. And then I remember when Infinity War came out, and everyone was like, there's no Thanos event in Marvel Heroes because it's over.
That's because Thanos was too busy being in Fortnite.
Yeah.
Time to do the Fortnite dance.
Feels weird to me that's like the Fortnite dance is a reference to Scrubs, and then it's like it's come back again.
Yeah.
But didn't the actor who did that in the Scrubs like sue Epic? I mean, everyone's tried to sue
I
Epic.
tried, but they didn't get anywhere.
Everyone's tried to sue Epic at this point, except Apple, who are being sued by Epic.
Yes.
And trying to drag Steam in too. Steam's like, no, we just want to have our monopoly, thanks.
It's fine. Fortnite will die eventually.
Eventually. But will Epic die is the real question.
Well, I don't know about that. You'll know when Fortnite's dying when they're like, "Hey guys, Unreal Tournament, we're starting to work on it again." Ha!
Good joke.
No, that's actually what they'll probably have to go back to.
I don't think we'll ever see another Unreal Tournament.
Like I said, that's when they break the glass on that when Fortnite is dead.
I mean, what even was the last Unreal Tournament?
Well, I mean, there is one that is basically in early access that they've just kind of abandoned because of Fortnite doing as well as it did.
Just Fortnite money.
Yes. That's why I say, like, we'll know if they start. We'll know if Fortnite is dead if they suddenly go back to it.
Maybe in like 30 years' time they'll release a Unreal VR game.
Maybe. I don't know.
It's a joke about Valve.
But
The way Valve made games.
God, I love the fucking gunbusters. Just like, haha, that's a nice clump of enemies you have there. It's great. It's fine. It's fine. 2 of them survived. It's fine. Alame's gonna throw a hula hoop at it and kill it.
Shame about the Die Buster though.
I've never seen Die Buster.
You don't want
No.
I don't want Die Buster.
Nobody has seen Die Buster.
Die Buster.
I have it because when I bought Gunbuster, I came with Die Buster, but I haven't watched it.
I gave it Arno's like, yeah, I don't know.
Anno had nothing. Oh, Anno had nothing to do with Die Buster. I do know that.
Oh right. Yeah, sorry.
So I don't know if it. So I can't say it's good or bad because I haven't watched it. I have it. I own it. I just haven't watched it.
Shit, we haven't talked about the Eva thing, have we?
We joked about it briefly in the one thing. We joked about who wins, basically.
I mean, Sebo knows more about it than I do.
Yeah, Mari wins.
Yeah,
Take that.
'cause I made a joke. I made a joke about it where I was like, here's probably how the whole thing went with Anno. Anno's like, all right, okay, cool. So y'all like fucking Asuka and Rei, huh? All right, how about neither of them win? This dude wins. We like that. Okay, fuck you. This random girl I just added to this film series wins. Fuck you. Suck my nut.
Pretty much, yeah. we joked that it would just be End of Evangelion again, and while it wasn't literally them just showing the film they already made, 25 years ago again, it was basically the whole movie was basically just End of Evangelion except without people melting at the end. Instead, they have this weird battle where Gendo and Shinji have this Eva fight that spills out onto a tokusatsu stage somehow. Like through all this weird it gets very meta towards the end.
Smells a lot like Arno just being like, can I just go do Godzilla again, please?
Can I do something else?
Yeah.
I want to do something else.
Godzilla, please.
Yeah. So, I mean, they have their big flashy thing, and then Shinji has his whole conversation with his parents, and then his parents leave in the Eva forever, and then there's a time skip to like time skip / dimension skip / I don't know, but all of a sudden Shinji is in the what looks like real life Tokyo, and he's with Mari for some reason, and they're like together, and that's basically the end. And I suppose it's the best we could hope for.
The end of Evangelion?
The end of Evangelion. Well, it's not the end of Evangelion, because Enno's like, by the way, if anyone wants to take a crack at it, like an alternate universe like Gundam, go ahead. I'm totally cool with that, as long as I don't have to do Eva anymore.
As long as you just pay me, man. As long as you pay me.
Just give me the money and leave me alone.
Alright, fine. You pricks think that you're so smart. You could do Evangelion. Just pay me. And I'll reap the benefits. You're a smart man, Ano-san.
He actually is. He's one of the few in that business that knows how to do business. That's not a joke. That's actually a thing.
I like the cut of his jib.
I respect the hustle. Listen, I respect it, but these people are like, oh, look at all this deep shit in Ava, isn't this? What? No, I just thought that looked cool. No, I thought that name sounded cool.
Honestly, I don't know, man. I might have been drunk at the time. Hard to remember. I do wonder, do you think Arno does get into positions where it's like, where people go, so what do you think of it? So what were you thinking when you did this? And he's like, did I do that? Oh shit, I don't know.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised, because I mean, I mentioned, at least in one recording, how people asked him, like, hey, why do you think Rei is so popular in Japan? And he first started off going, I'm going to be honest with you, I forgot Rei was in the series during developments while we were making it half the time. That's why in this one episode, like, he number dropped the episodes, like, that's why in this episode she only appears for like a second, because I had to be reminded that she's in the show. And that's why she didn't appear in the very next episode, because I just forgot.
That's because she's basically a non-entity for the entire time that Asuka is around until, Asuka gets depressed.
Actually, he says that the reason why he thinks she's more popular is because she's basically a non-entity of a person, and they're very popular when it comes to women in Japan, and basically just started making fun of Japan.
Yes. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's some you can make some connection to the sort of stereotype of the ideal Japanese woman.
Yeah, that's what he basically was making fun of.
So, but hey, it's over. Eva is over until it's not. Just like it was over those last 3 times until it's not.
The end of Eva for now.
Or is it? Yes. But let's.
War never changes. Or does it? That's still like one of my favorite things. It's a shame no one remembers Bulletstorm, but everyone remembers that fucking bit from like the parody Call of Duty game. I am an enemy paratrooper. Oh, I am defeat. America is greatest.
Is it parody if it's true?
It's literally what Call of Duty games are.
The only difference is Call of Duty has to be very careful these days about who they cast as the bad guys.
They usually just make Russians.
Well, you used to be able to do the Russians, now, and then you are like, well, we got terrorists, we just do terrorists, and then people are like...
no, what they do is they do that, and they're like, actually the Russians were behind it.
No, and the problem is they can't do the actual supervillains of the world, because if they do, they'll get fucking a bunch of people on social media who are definitely talking about things because they mean to, and not because they're, basically being bullied by a evil corrupt government.
What?
Yeah. Weird that nobody talks about this redacted.
Man, I feel like we really need to get together and really discuss the intricacies of Redacted.
Can we just talk about the human rights issues There are no human rights issues. Stop talking. it's just Poochie, you know. I have something. Look like you have something to say. Yes, I do. Nothing happened in Tiananmen Square. Poochie died on the way back to his home planet.
I must go now. My people need me. Yep.
I must go. The great leader needs me.
So, how would you feel about me just having a van kill the Mashmir, the Haman simp with the rose?
Go for it. Who cares about Mashimere?
I just was curious how funny it is just for Van to be the one to do it.
I'm surprised they even put him in the game.
I mean, better him than Glemmy.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just surprising that they even remember who.
Nobody
Mashimir
wants
is.
Glemmy.
No, nobody does.
Not Glemmy.
They make mention of him a couple of times, though.
Yeah, because...
Kind of hard not to when you have Purus around.
True.
When Purus are abound, Glemmy is there.
And I do like these games when they just have like 3 to 4 different factions called Neo Zeon.
Yeah, there's 3. There are 3. We haven't introduced the 3rd one yet, but there are 3.
So, which always just airs off. No, but these are the for real space Nazis. No, but they're the for real space Nazis. These are the space Nazis who aren't like genocidal monsters.
Which ones?
You know what? Does it matter? Does it even matter which one's a which at this point? They're all just...
Actually, wait, no, I do have the answer. It's actually Haman, so she's the one who didn't want to drop a colony on the planet.
They're all fucking space noids, man. They should all be destroyed.
Oh god, we're bringing this back. It's been a while.
That's my favorite line from Jurassic
We
Park.
need to take Australia and throw it at the space colonies.
It's been a while since I heard this bit.
Yep,
It's been a hot minute.
we're going back.
Fucking space noids, man.
No, you know, we need to throw at the space noise, not Australia. We need to throw Carbomia at them.
God damn it! You know, there's something kind of interesting about the sight of the Sizzler guarding an attack for the Shin Getter. I don't know what it is.
We brought up Transformers before. We didn't bring up Carbomia, so you know.
I was being polite.
Got to keep that going.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even think about that until you said it. I was like, man, I think this is, but like probably afterwards I've been like, you know, I think this is the first time we talked about Transformers and it didn't come up.
Look, it's not my fault. Carbonia is hilarious.
No, well, Carbomia is the greatest thing G1 has created.
Definitely the best way to come out of Season 3 outside of maybe that episode where Starscream had a ghost. It was like, hey,
outside of Starscream's ghost, in the episode where Galvatron goes to the therapy planet and he's so crazy he makes the planet explode.
Cyclonus!
Maybe Season 3 wasn't as bad as we all thought it was. Or maybe it was worse.
By the way, I still absolutely adore just showing people the Transformers wiki to explain why the Transformers fan base is in fact the only good fan base.
I mean, I think I was... Someone was like, hey, you know there was a Transformers Magic the Gathering card, and I was like, did you know the Transformers wiki has a page devoted entirely to chins?
Or also Titus shirt.
And also the Titus shirt, because there isn't one, they checked!
He went to get you a tighter shirt. There is no tighter shirt. We checked.
Which is like...
Like any other fan wiki would look at that and be like, this is a stub and unnecessary remove.
Remember when Wikipedia was fun?
Yeah, and then the Disney Nation attacked.
Back when Wikipedia was allowed to have a Ruin Forever page. Does it still... I wonder if it's back yet.
Or someone's like snuck it back in.
I'll check. No. Wow. Weirdly enough, though, the first result on this, when I type on Wikipedia, when I type in "Ruined Forever," is mole. Fair enough. Man, Wikipedia throwing shade on Darth Maul.
I have to show you. There was just this image I saw where it was Darth Maul, where it's called Smooth Darth Maul. Let me see if I can find it. I saw it on Twitter the other day. Good thing the computer's running its turn, so I can just let this all play out while I scroll for it. God, Star Wars is a mess. I'm glad that I was never super into Star Wars, so I don't have to care that much. But I was just kind of casually into it. Where are you, Smooth Maul? Ah, there he is. There's Smooth Maul. Alright, let me just get back to Discord and post it in here. Enjoy Smooth Darth Maul.
Yeah, fair enough. So it's actually kind of interesting because I've been watching a sort of YouTube documentary series about George Lucas, and specifically it's on the part where he's doing the prequels. And then it got to the point where, because obviously Peter Serafinowicz, which provides the voice of Darth Maul, and it's telling the story that he recounts when he, talked to George and asked him, so what is my motivation in all this? George Lucas just turned to him and said, you're evil. Fair enough.
Oh, okay, I get it. I'm evil.
Okay. I mean, yeah, okay, anything else? No, you're evil.
I'm just evil.
And then I'm like, yeah, this is the guy who, when asked to create two Darth names, gave them Darth Insanius and Darth Icky.
Darth Icky. Darth Icky's my favorite.
Or Darth Icky.
Darth Icky. Darth Icky be sicky.
Think of all that could have had with the misadventures of Darth Icky.
Ooh. That would be a problem if Haman just shot down the wind sky god. That would be a bit of an issue.
Would actually prove that she is competent enough for it to fight the Gunbuster, though. If she can shoot down the god of the very winds themselves.
Well then, with that in mind,
granted though, only the god in their crappy world.
That's true. Well,
they don't even have smartphones, losers.
They don't. It's like it was like from the 90s or something. Fucking weirdos.
I mean, there's also just a fantasy world, and I don't know, man. I always think the fantasy worlds are just people who are just basically, populated by people who are inherently lazy. Because you think the amount of fucking advantage they should have for the things they command and can do, and their technology is always... It's like elves, right? But how much elves brag about being superior and all this, and this? And yeah, they're not actually any further along than the filthy humans are.
So you bring this up. What's funny is I made a one shot for my D&D Pathfinder group to play this Saturday. Oh, this Saturday for when we were recording this, I should say, for the audience. And I basically homebrewed mecha rules to make it a mecha thing and have it take place like years and years in the future of it. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, how would they power stuff? I'm like, they literally have magic. They literally just use magic to power everything. They don't even need to worry about like problems with the environment because they can just power it with magic.
It's magic. We don't need to explain it.
It's to start to sound a little bit 40k.
Well, I don't.
The Grim?
No, it's not Grimdark.
No, because if that was the case, it'd be like, what's it powered by? The Tears of Heretics.
The warp. It's powered by the warp saber.
Because I'm like, magic
what
is
the warp?
You
warp is magic.
Literally, they already have like stuff in Pathfinder that is powered by like magical runes, and I'm just like, oh, we can just literally make like a fucking TV and slap a rune on it, and there it works.
It's magic. It's got a rune. It's powered by runes. That makes it magical. You cunts.
But like, you get what I'm saying, though. So like, yeah. You get to see like a goblin wearing like a polo shirt.
I ain't gonna like dictate what goblins can and can't wear.
Business suit orcs.
Why not, right? Orcs gotta do, someone's gotta run Smash Incorporated, where they do all the smashing.
Yes. But like, but yeah, basically playing on the idea, I was like, yeah, they wouldn't even really need like gas power or anything like that. So like wizards basically are like electricians at this point.
But yeah, I'm just saying, like, you ever find it funny how elves are always like, oh, they're so like good, and it's like,
We're so
if
good.
if they're so great, why don't they have laptops?
Where's your internet access? Deal-it!
Where's the overpriced coffee shops? Fucking elves, man.
Listen, they probably have the overpriced coffee shops. I'm pretty sure they have the overpriced coffee shops. They're pretentious enough.
No, because here's the thing. I think they're even too pretentious for that. I think they need to like hand grind their own beans on a virgin's thigh or some bullshit. You know what elves are like.
Yeah, depraved.
Cunt. No, just cunts.
They are.
That is the response to that question. What are elves like? Cunts.
Yeah.
There's no other acceptable answer.
I dare a writer that other than Paizo, because that's cheating to bring up Pathfinder, to write elves and not make them giant assholes.
At least Warhammer leans into the fact that everyone's an asshole, except the Tau, maybe. Actually, no, yeah, even the Tau. The Tau just have the sensible idea of what if we had giant robots, right?
Yeah, but I mean, there's a couple where they are just like, oh, we couldn't figure out how to make them also assholes, so let's just tack on something real fast.
Oh, the Tau?
I don't know if it's the Tau specifically, but I remember there's a couple of them that are like that, because Warhammer is really stupid.
Yeah, that's why it's great.
My favorite thing, though, is how you'll find Warhammer fans who, like, get really, like, take it way too seriously. I love those people.
Functionally incorrect way to enjoy Warhammer 40k.
I
don't know about Warhammer Fantasy, because that seems dumb and stupid.
Yeah, see, I don't know. But, because for some reason a bunch of Warhammer fans are like, yeah, the Earth Imperium would destroy Gundam, and I'm like, why do you care? Also, new types are bullshit.
Yeah, but to be fair, Warhammer does also have new types. They're called Psychers. They're like if new types were also cyberpunks and arguably even more glitchy than cyberpunk.
Impossible. So you said that, so because you decided that Haman is in fact a threat for the Gunbuster, decided to throw the Gunbuster in front of her.
Now, I imagine she fucking shot down the Gunbuster right here.
And literally impossible, 0% chance.
You know what? That sounds like... You know what? Maybe we should get... Maybe this is a little bit... Maybe we should make this more like XCOM, you know?
Oh, or 100% chance really means 2% chance?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, you're standing right in front of your target and you have a shotgun. Roll, you miss. And you miss. I literally saw his model get fucking hit in the face by the shotgun.
Wasteland 3 does that too.
Yeah,
I remember there's one where it's like, you have a 70% chance of hitting. Cool. Miss. Alright. Shoot again. Miss. Okay. Shoot again. Miss. 70% chance, eh?
That's your problem, is that you fired 3 times, and you need and if you fire 10 times, you'll hit 7 out of those times, so there's 3 misses. So you just rolled all 3 misses at once. It's just basic math. You know what your problem is? You got simple brain. Like a real dinosaur.
Simple brains!
They got simple brains.
I mean...
Ratchet, that's the
most retarded thing I've ever heard. It's your idea to build a giant fire-breathing dinosaur robots and then not give them enough brains to tell their head from their ass. What are you thinking, Wheeljack? I mean, you've done some stupid things before, but this takes the cake. Hey, Wheeljack, I bet real dinosaurs have metal skin, too.
Shut up.
Huffer is the worst, though. I'm glad he died.
Where's Huffer?
Man, there's something always. There's one thing you can say. If there's anyone in G1 you don't like, don't worry, they're probably dead. They died horribly. You don't like Ironhide somehow? Good. Well, lucky for you, he's dead.
He died twice. He died in 2 continuities.
Do you like Cliff Jumper? Do you hate Cliff Jumper? Well, don't you fucking worry. He dies and becomes a zombie in that one continuity.
Yeah, when he was voiced by The Rock.
For 1 episode.
And then immediately died.
And then subsequently, any time he appeared in flashbacks, he was not voiced by Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Strange.
Weird.
Alright.
Well.
Who else is there worth hating? You know who doesn't get to die though? Powerglide. Powerglide lives forever.
Yeah, Powerglide never dies in any continuity.
Powerglide just gets his fucking girlfriend. Man. Actually, Red Alert might also be alive, weirdly.
There's that one continuity where Red Alert is female for some reason.
Makes sense to me. There's that one continuity where Red Alert has lost a hand. Thanks, Armada. And Scavenger's a good guy.
Oh yeah.
And Starscream was a good guy, sort of, kind of, not really.
For a minute.
Maybe.
And then he gets resurrected and we don't talk about that.
Hey, well, do we talk about the girl who wanted to fuck him?
I mean, they had like one episode where she was like, "Oh, I guess you're not such a bad guy after all." And then he immediately fucking betrayed them because he wanted to go hang out with Galvatron. And he was like, "Galvatron, maybe we should stop Unicron." And Galvatron's like, "How about you shut up before I slap you with my sword?" And then Starscream was like, "No, you shut up." And then Galvatron killed him. Yeah, I just summed up the entirety of...
No, Unicron killed him.
No, I'm pretty sure like Galvatron kills Starscream.
No, Galvatron beats him in a duel, and then Starscream like decides to suicide by trying to shoot at Unicron, who promptly smites him with the bolt of lightning.
Unicron's like, "What is this shit? Get
Unicron
out of
doesn't say
here!"
anything; it's just zap. And this inspires Galvatron to team up with Optimus briefly.
For 5 minutes.
For 5 minutes.
And then, in typical Mega Galvatron fashion, the second he sees the opportunity, he's like, "So I'm betraying you now?" Prime's like, "I fucking knew it!"
He's like, "Yeah, I figured this was coming."
Literally can't trust the Decepticons.
See, he should have pulled out his spine when he had the chance.
I should have pulled out his spine.
Duh. I mean, he kind of does. That fight is actually surprisingly brutal at the end of Armada.
I guess I can't skip on his spine now.
Better than the end of Energon, at least.
Spines.
Man, remember how Energon ends?
No, I don't actually.
I don't.
I'm probably glad. That's probably a good thing. I don't know.
The
The only thing I remember about Energon, beyond it being a mess, is the one episode where they didn't finish animating it before they aired it on TV, and they kept talking about a space station that wasn't there.
Literally isn't there.
It's like so about the space station. Cut to a complete empty shot of space because they didn't animate the space station in it yet.
Basically, like, Unicron... so, you know that shot of Galvatron as you absorbs Unicron and becomes big and fat, right?
You know, I thought that was only in Headmasters.
So it sort of happens in...
Oh god, he becomes Grand Galvatron?
Sort of. So it happens. So what happens is, like, Unicron possesses Galvatron and force fuses their bodies together, and then Optimus Prime becomes a giant, and then they fight, and then in a really awfully animated way, of course. And then Galvatron's like, "Well, you know what? I hate Prime, but fuck you, Unicron. I'm going to kill us both." And Unicron's like, "That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard." And Megatron's like, "Have you met me?"
I kind of want to see this now.
No, it sounds a lot more exciting than I.
No, I just want to see Grand Galvatron for real this time.
Yeah, I'll go see if I can dig up the picture.
I mean, I know there's that one in Headmaster where he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna turn it," and it's just a really fat Galvatron, and who TF Wiki decided to add "I ate a baby" into that.
I mean,
That sounds about right for them. I ate a baby! Actually, no, to be fair, that makes sense that they would put that there, because that's around the time of Austin Powers still. When that fucking thing came out.
Headmasters? No, Headmasters came out in like the late 80s.
yeah.
Oh no, I was getting things mixed up with like the Energon. Sorry,
No,
there's too many
no,
fucking
no.
Transformers stuff.
No, the actual Grand Galvatron pick that TF Wiki mocks was Headmasters, which came out in like 87.
Oh, okay.
So that was still like 10 years away from Austin Powers.
I'm sorry, there's just something really funny to me about watching Hokushin get jabbed repeatedly by Jung's fucking javelin. I don't know why, but it's just really funny to me. Ah, it's me, Akito! Ah, I'm back!
Go away, Hokushin.
No!
Nobody likes you.
I like me!
Does he though?
Darkness!
I don't even think
Keyblade!
Ah!
You've gotten strong, Akito. You might even be stronger than Darkness now. Really? No.
Ah! Akito! Ah.
I feel loneliness.
Darkness and loneliness, Akito! Ah!
Suck my dick. Rude. Haha, look at this guy. He only has 10 Keyblades. Gosh darn it, Kari.
I'm sorry. That's just how I know Hokushin doesn't sound like this in either the Japanese or the dub, but that's just how I hear him. He's just fucking bad Liam Neeson goblin. Not Liam Neeson, fucking Willem Dafoe.
I mean, I just hear him. Hokushin is just literally, yeah, the Zeon thing of darkness, 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 darkness.
I mean, I get that, but I get the goblin voice. Ah!
Light,
Darkness!
darkness, light, darkness, light. Why not light? I like darkness. Okay.
Darkness? Darkness.
Okay.
Okay.
But I don't want light! I want darkness!
I will kill you, Axel. Nobody kills Axel. Do you remember it?
Where
Damn
is
it.
the
Why do I have to be the comic relief character?
You know, now that Nomura is no longer on Final Fantasy Remake 7 Remake Part 2, I wonder if we will actually see.
Oh god, he's not. He's not?
Oh, you didn't hear? He's not director anymore.
Why not? They fired him?
I don't know. They just said that he's not going to be director. The co-director from Part 1 is
What did
now
he?
going-
What did he take too long to release part 1? And they're like, yeah, we want to have this out sometime before 2030.
I don't know. Maybe they were like, yeah. So last time we gave you like 4 different projects to work on. Kind of nothing got made for like a decade. So how about you just work on? Why don't you just work on Kingdom Hearts?
Well, yeah, well, I'm gonna say what is he making? I know he's not on Final Fantasy 16 or Final Fantasy 14.
Maybe he's on Kingdom Hearts.
I didn't know Kingdom Hearts had anything coming out anytime soon.
Well, I mean, you know, Square, they have stuff in production for fucking years before they ever announce it. And then sometimes they turn out stuff like years before it's even into production. A la Final Fantasy 7 Remake. Who knows? Maybe Nomura's doing an original IP. Good joke. I'm sure whatever. Oh, man, I am kind of sad about being on FF7 Part 2 though. It means there's a chance it won't be fucky.
There's a chance it'll be normal.
I don't want. I can't. I mean, yeah. I always said that no matter what happens, I won because either the remake is good, or the remake is Kingdom Hearts levels of bullshit, or literally every other part of every other Final Fantasy 7 entry levels of bullshit.
Maybe
and I want that.
Maybe what happened was Square didn't pay attention, and then when the game came out and they saw the Fate Ghost, like, uh-oh!
I mean, we can't even say that because in this like FF7 final mix they're releasing on PS5, they brought back that fucking idiot from Dirge of Cerberus, and I mean, if you're bringing back Dirge Cerberus of all things,
Not Genesis. Not Genesis.
please no Gact. Please no Gact.
No
please
Gact. Come on, nobody likes Gact anymore. Just forget about him.
He's old. Nobody cares. He's gone.
He's old news now.
But yeah, so they're bringing back that fucker from Dirge Cerberus. So all but nothing's certain anymore. And I only say Dirge Cerberus specifically because nobody not even like the hardest of hardcore FF set like Final Fantasy defenders can like Dirge Cerberus. They just pretend it didn't happen, but it did. We were all there. But I don't know, Crisis Core apart from Genesis was good though.
Genesis. Crisis. Wait. Crisis.
Before Crisis. I don't fucking remember how these games.
Dirge Cerberus was not good though.
Oh no, Dirge Cerberus is trash. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows you can't enjoy Dirge Cerberus.
There are people that do.
I don't think there are.
There are.
I don't believe you. Find me one of these people.
KZX.
That's not a person though. I can say what I want because he was rude to me. Fuck him.
It's fine. He'll never see this.
Exactly. What's he gonna do? Not talk to me? Oh. Joke's on you. I always win.
No, there was that one time I won when we did the SpaceX joke. With the Poggers bit. I won that time.
Oh no, man. My joke was good enough that I forgot about it, and you had to remind me of it. And I was like, man, that was a good joke. Good job, me.
No, you're just like, I hope you die when I was just did the Poggers thing at you.
Yeah. Right. How is your application to SpaceX going, by the way? Making more progress than SpaceX did.
You know, it's funny how like SpaceX costs more than just wiping student loan debt.
Yeah, well. I mean, you could sit here. I mean, I was even saying today, when you think about the kind of insanity of things like charity being tax deductible, which kind of means that on some level, whenever people who are rich and powerful enough to like do things like charitable donations of that magnitude, that it becomes like tax deductible, is that at that point they're not really giving to charity, the government is.
Yeah, they're just keeping more money to themselves when taxes come up.
So it's like the kind of thing where I even said that if you work on the basis of like say you're someone who earns $1 million per year. Like, unless you're actively going out of your way just to buy expensive things for the sake of buying expensive things,
you're fine.
Like, yeah, you live not even just a fine, you live a comfortable life.
Yeah.
It's like the only time it ever becomes like anything other than anything, is if you are literally just wasting the money on needlessly expensive things. It's like, oh yeah, I need to have an actual for real live goose to wipe my ass with every day. Levels of just need.
How would you even do that?
Like, I just use the same goose, like a normal person.
How would you even use a goose to wipe your ass? I feel like that would just cause pain.
I mean, hey man, I'm not gonna kick shame.
I mean, yeah, apparently you're the one that does it with your goose.
Just the one goose.
Worst part is in my head, I just keep hearing the goose honks.
I mean, there's two kind of honking going on down there.
Oh. No, thank you. Oh.
I mean, we can't all be extravagant and have fucking 3 fridges.
God damn it. He's not saying anything.
It's because he's like, shit, how does he know? He knows! He knows too much! He knows about the fridge conspiracy.
Alright, that is the end of tea for today. It's time to leave, guys.
time to freeze.